He never watched TV, yet every day he dismantled a brand new television and threw it off the 35th floor. He'd accidentally gotten trapped in this abandoned building and was doing this just to get the security guard's attention downstairs. But the guard was listening to the radio and didn't notice a thing. Seeing that throwing TVs wasn't working, he started shouting desperately. But at this height of 100 meters, his voice sounded so faint. Still, he wasn't ready to give up. He grabbed a metal basin and banged on the window while yelling, hoping the sound would travel down the walls. But by nightfall, his voice was hoarse and the security guard still hadn't come to rescue him. He fell into despair. The next day, he went back to the door and tried to open it, but the key had broken off. The lock outside wouldn't budge. So he ran to the kitchen and grabbed a pair of pliers, trying to pry open the doorknob. But even with all his strength, he couldn't get it to turn. The man simply started hammering at the door with the pliers. 2 hours later, there were only a few scratches on the door, and he'd accidentally injured his finger. Furious, the man kicked the door hard. He believed his World Cup level legs could definitely kick the door open. But what he didn't know was that half the building's budget had gone into that door. His leg nearly got injured, and all he left were a few size 38 footprints on the door. That's when the man finally realized he was living in the information age. Wasn't a phone the best rescue tool? He quickly dialed a locksmith, but following typical movie logic, the phone either had no signal or was dead. He got the latter. Before he could finish giving the address, the phone died. He rushed into the room, found the charger, and plugged it in. But how could the director let him escape so easily? Sure enough, just seconds after plugging it in, the entire room lost power. The man deeply regretted it. He shouldn't have believed the realtor who said this place was great and had Cupid's heart above it, guaranteeing he'd find love within a month of moving in. Look what happened now. He was trapped here. Forget finding love, even leaving had become a problem. Then he thought of another plan. He collected all the toothpaste from the bathroom and wrote a distress signal on cardboard, throwing it down to a suitable spot. But due to air currents, the cardboard landed on the roof. He couldn't believe his luck was this bad. He immediately wrote a second note. This time, he stuck his hand out the window, hoping the cardboard would fly farther. But as it fell, it still landed on the roof. Just as he was about to write a third note, the toothpaste ran out. In desperation, he tore off the bandage on his hand and squeezed the wound hard. A message in blood was written. With his last bit of hope, he threw it down. This time, the cardboard finally landed in a good spot. Right then, a woman came up to collect her laundry. The man shouted desperately at her, but his voice was gone, and he couldn't make a sound. The woman was only focused on collecting her clothes and didn't notice the distress signal on the ground at all. The next day, he gathered materials and made a slingshot, waiting for the woman to come collect her laundry. During this time, the man wrote another distress letter. He threw it at the security guard downstairs, but the guard was still lying there listening to his radio, completely oblivious to the distress letter on the ground. But just then, the woman came up to collect her laundry. Seeing her, the man immediately grabbed the slingshot. This time, he finally got her attention and made her notice the distress letter. Seeing her walking in this direction, he was overjoyed. He could finally be rescued. He immediately ran to the door and started pounding on it violently. Soon, the woman found the abandoned building.